Hey, Top Gun options traders and investors. Matt Buckley, the primary model portfolio manager here at TGO with today's Market SITREP. And the market continues to wake up from the party. The confetti's really started to settle to the floor after the Fed's announcement last week. And guess what? Unlike the Pope saying there is no hell, there is a hell. And the market is starting to, in my opinion, recognize that bad news is bad news, and we're going to start trading on the fundamentals of the market again. So, we're moving sideways-ish today. The market's up a little bit on home builder sentiment. So, home builder sentiment came in at a 40. You know what? It's good. Obviously, 37 before 38 was forecast. A 40 is better than 38. Below a 50 is bad. Anything above a reading of 50 is good. We're still in the bad category, folks. And here's another thing I want to point out. Home builder optimism hits 6-year high. What's the most important two words in that sentence? Home builder optimism. It doesn't say home buyer. It doesn't say home seller. It says home builder. Who cares about what home builders think? If banks aren't loaning people money to buy homes and credit is still frozen, what about the optimism of us? So home builder optimism I'm going to take with a grain of salt. Here's the more important news of the day, folks, is FedEx. FedEx came out and said things aren't good. Okay, so FedEx reported, they were estimating at $1.67 a share, came in at, was it 135, 145, something like that, whatever it was, swing and a miss. And as we've talked about before at Top Gun Options, FedEx is a canary in our market coal mine. When FedEx catches, sneezes, the market catches a cold. They've warned of a slowdown in Asia, a slowdown in Europe, and even domestically here in the United States, especially the express business, which is absolutely positively has to be there overnight. So that, to me, is a more important event of today than builder sentiment. Tomorrow, we might get more of a look into the housing market. Why? So take a look at Wednesday. Building permits, housing starts, and existing home sales. That's the one I'm really going to look at. Building permits and housing starts, well, if builder optimism's up, these numbers are probably going up. They know how many permits they've been asking for and how many housing starts they've done, so maybe that's why they're optimistic. So these numbers might come in okay. Existing home sales is going to be interesting. Okay, rest of the week, Thursday, typical weekly unemployment claims can always move the market. But here's what I'm going to be looking towards: the Philly Fed Index. Okay, down 7.1, down 4.1. I don't see this improving. I see it threading the needle between 4.1 and 7.1, and that's an indicator of Mid-Atlantic manufacturing. So that's going to be a big one as well. Let me start with these type of things. FOMC Penalto, FOMC Lockhart from the Atlanta Fed. Who's up here? FOMC Lacker is speaking. I used to care about that. I don't care anymore. Why? The Fed has spoken. Who cares what these people have to say anymore? The Fed chief has said QE3 infinity. He's put all the chips in, plus his buckle, plus his holster, plus his shoes, and said, we're in. Everything's in. Who cares what these folks have to say? So, Draghi. So we have a Bernanke put in place underneath the U.S. markets, and a lot of people say we have what? A Draghi put underneath all the train wrecks in Euro. That's not necessarily true. So the Draghi, when he came out, a couple weeks ago and said we're going to start buying, bonds on the secondary market, folks. So like you and me type of people, he's not buying them directly from troubled institutions, and they also have to ask. They have to ask nicely, kind of like a few good men. And he also didn't lower interest rates. So Draghi actually has in his six-shooter about 3 bullets left. Bernanke has a BB. I mean, the only BB he's got left in the Fed's gun is to maybe reduce the interest rate that they pay banks to sit on their reserves, and that's about it. Or even maybe pay banks to lend. Ain't gonna happen, folks. It makes too much sense. Friday, snooze. Nothing going on in the markets. Okay, so I believe we're going to start trading sideways. The market's really overbought here, gone too far, too fast for the past 6, 8 weeks, whatever it is, and it's been on a tear. So at Top Gun Options, we have a lot of our hedges on. Our bearish positions are starting to really pay off. So on a day like today, we're up about $1,500-$1,600 in the model portfolio. And a lot of our hedges are starting to show some life, and that's why we have them on. We have a lot of we have some diagonals going on that are of a bearish tint. We have some bearish iron condors, and we have some weeklies on as well that we're playing with. And so a lot of good stuff going on at Top Gun Options in our model portfolio. Very happy with the performance. The guy at the end of the exit ramp on 995 that says the end is near, he's going to be eventually right, but make sure you have in your portfolio some end is near hedges. So when you wake up, and it's not a matter of if, but when Israel attacks Iran, and Iran retaliates by attacking U.S. bases in Europe and Turkey and the Middle East, and World War III starts, or the election or the fiscal cliff, make sure you are prepared, folks. Because even with the VIX down here in the mid-teens, still at 5-year lowish, like everything's great. Don't fall asleep at the switch and don't believe the hype. Don't fight the Fed. He's going to hover that helicopter over the market and rain dollar bills all over the place and buy mortgage-backed securities. Don't believe the hype. Because what if that doesn't work? QE1, QE2, Operation Twist, Operation whatever the hell the last thing was called, none of those have worked. What's going to make this work? So make sure you got one eye towards the exit, folks, and we do at Top Gun Options. All right, got to get going. Got some trade alerts to get out and a live trading session to do. So happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and I'll be back tomorrow with our SITREP. Have a great day.